even Super Friends. As long as pwede niyang hanapin kung saan yung physical damager ng Fnatic Onyx, madali lang for them. So top lane ay naka-focus doon. Ang Fnatic Onyx on securing other objectives. 4.3k gold lead by the way for them.
Taas din ang lead ni Kelra against sa OM. That's a one-item lead for Kelra. It means mas masakit ang damage output.
Good news to BMI. Oy, Entropy.
Entropy out. Blazing duet para kay Kelra. Sasulin ni Haji. Haji. Binaban ng armor. Okay, binabanatan si Kelra ngayon. Haji flickering in to death. Nakaabang doon. Sina Escalera and companies. At napanish si Haji.
Escalera with the counterplay. At napakabilis umikot kina Fnatic Onyx Philippines. And a push.
Maintindihan mo ba't ginawa ni Haji yun? Kasi alam niyang kaya niya patumbayin si Kelra. Full stack siya. Then again, Onyx once again. Kompletos Ricados yung laro dito. Pindot na pindot.
At saka nakita kasi si Haji na nag-flicker din, tapos naka-primal wrath. Nag-flicker din si Escalera while charge. So nandun yung mga kakampi dito ni Kelra, napigilan pa nila. So kailangan maging maingat dito ng Blacklist International sa mga ganong klaseng plays. So inaabangan natin dito yung flicker onward and even Earth Shatter. Pero kailangan talaga nilang hanapin dito si Super Friends.
Oo. The keys to victory.
Babalikan natin ulit.
Get the Super Mage. Si Super Prince ang main problem, no?
3-0-1 with the mastery of the Luwuyi. Naging effective recipe sa lineup nila to. At napapagana talaga na buong team kung paano nila i-utilize this with the macro plays that they're doing. Kelra nagpupush lang dito sa Torre. Isa na namang depensa ang nakuha sa Blacklist International.
Suwabe yung pagkakapush doon sa may bottom lane. Tsaka parang ngayon kasi, dati kasi pala, pagka nakakuha ng objective si Fnatic Onyx, parang nagte-teleport agad sila sa ibang lugar. Ngayon, very unpredictable kasi hindi mo alam kung kailan sila magkakaroon ng surprise play. Yung sinasabi natin na pwedeng yun yung naaral ng Blacklist, pero binago pala ng Fnatic Onyx.
I super agree. Hindi nga tayo nakakita ng mga diversion penalty zone pa eh.
Wala pa.
Oo, wala pa. Wala pang mga ganong setups for the side of Fnatic Onyx. It is clear na lamang ang Fnatic Onyx ngayon as a Blacklist International will try their best to counter this. Problem, 5v5, walang nagsissplit.
Edward yung Frog Armor. Kailangan din nga ingatan, being the front line.
Uy, nakarangan.
Ito na yung sinasabi natin, adjustment din ng Black. Uy, wait
Uy,
lang.
okay.
Pipilit ba?
Okay, that's a fake diversion. Diversion na nga, fake pa.
Pero it's okay ito. Divert. Walang Frog Armor si Edward. Walang nakalapit. Freely, a free lord for Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
Fake na, diversion pa.
Oh, parang super diverted.
Diverted attention, kung ano man yun.
Lahat na ng mga, parang kung ikaw kasi dito yung Blacklist International, medyo mapapaisip ka kung itutuloy ba or not. Kaya nakita natin nagkaroon din ng reaction from them because of that ultimate. Pero so far, napakalinis ng ginagawa dito na objective taking ng side ng Fnatic Onyx. And kudos of course dito sa mga pa-wall din ni Escalera.
Complete counter in the front line. Again, they want to reach Super Friends nga. They need to actually have a -1 din dito because right now, looking at the real-time head-to-head, sa Rome tayo ngayon nakafocus, making a great advantage kung paano nasisil ni Escarella ang bawat entry point ng Blacklist International. And now, a Blacklist, what they need now is time para ma-activate yung damage ngayon ni Oheb.
Okay, knock-up mula kay Haji. Walang pinipilit dito ngayon ng Fnatic Onyx. Gusto nila mag-push lang. They will just utilize the Lord if they can. But then again, this is a Nathan. Ang hirap mag-push kapag may Nathan kang kalaban. Mag-ult lang yan, tapos easy banat. Okay, wild charge, Escalera. Prinidik niya ata si Oheb.
Oh, parang inisip niya na baka pumasok doon na during that time. Pero disiplina na hindi. Oh, sakit.
Grabe yung peel ng damage.
Oh, my
penalty
God!
zone!
Pasok ngayon si Jem. Alam ng Fnatic Onyx na mas may damage sila. Napalalim si Escalera, flicker out. Napakasakit ni Kelra, BMI out. Fnatic Onyx, slowly but surely taking this game away.
Grabe din yung yung depensa dito ng side ng Blacklist International, pero for Fnatic Onyx ang maganda dito is grabe din yung depensa na or disiplina rather na ipinapakita nila dito para sa laban. Kung may error man sila, hindi nila inaasim yung pwede na play.
Yeah, walang asim na blazing duet. Sayari si Oheb. Kelra confident enough to enter. Siya lang mag-isa na nandun.
Sobrang calculated ng pasok ng BMI na yun.
Parang
gawin na walang any follow-up at all.
Kakasabi ko pala na hindi nila inaasim.
Okay na naman, mega kill si Super Prince. Dalawa na wala sa side ng Black
Aray!
International at napakasakit
Aray!
talaga ng dispersion vacuum. Napakasakit mo, Super Prince!
Tapos saan sila, akala ko magka-teleport pa sila, gagawa na naman ng play. Kaya discipline at saka yung kay Kayla kasi dito is, alam niya na if ever walang pang-hold sa kanya.
Wala nga panghuli.
Oh, not unless nakaabang din si Haji during that time na parang bigla siya mag-earth shatter. Pero hindi.
Ang hirap timingan kasi nun kapag Claude yung kalaban mo eh.
Good thing hindi rin siya nag-commit ng flicker. Probably waiting for the right time kung pwede, kung kailan pwede pagkanahin yung combo na yon. Kaya it could be the saving grace of setup kasi dapat merong isa na humarap.
Yeah.
Mismo sa frontline ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Na rin yung pagkakataon nila na para mag-connect ang damage. Oh, Chantel, okay na ba to? Is this enough for Black International to go and bounce back damage against Fnatic Onyx Philippines?
Actually, yung damage dito medyo kulang pa para dito kay, or para sa Blacklist International in total.
Oh, yan na.
Ayan na. Pero kaya
Ayan
nila
na.
as long as magiging mas matagal sila pagdating doon sa teamfight. Meron naman ng immortality si Edward dito. Medyo pumipitik na yung true damage niya versus the other players of Fnatic Onyx.
Ayun na si ang classic Claude Louis Coco nakatravel.
Sobrang layo ng BMI, pero sobrang effective sa pag-wave clear. Kelra doing the work
Sapa.
down bottom.
Isa pa, oh. Ay, di na kailangan. Umangat lang si Kelra. Hahabol pa si Edward dito. Pero baka makakita na naman tayo ng isa pang TP play eh.
Ay,
Ayun,
tinanggalan
oh,
ng Piraga armor.
Oo nga,
Ginamit
binibigyan.
ni
Okay. Oh.
Okay, forced out an ultimate out of Edward. So ang hirap lumapit. At yung Lord, freely taken again by Fnatic Onyx
Ay!
Philippines.
At Onyx vault in the top lane. Mawala si Edward dito pero mababalik si Kelra. Oh my glove.
Ang crucial ng pagkakakuha, yung pagkakaproc ng immortality dito ni Edward kasi meron ding Lord yung yung Fnatic Onyx.
Oh my.
And the real-time win rate is now at 66%.
This is all-out dominance para sa side ng Fnatic Onyx. Kaya naman ang mga Sonics na nandito ay mga nakangiti dahil nakikita nila na lumalamang ng todo. Lalong-lalo na si Kelra. Look at this. Ang taas ng kalamangan sa gold.
Oh, tsaka yung sa kills and assist din. Dahil din na maaga din siya sinama pagdating doon sa teamfight. Kasi meron siyang tagahatid eh. Di ba parang doon pala sa double laning may naghahatid na agad.
Oo nga eh.
Tapos pag kailangan mag-clear ng minion, may mahatid agad. Kasi maganda din yung combo, Louie. Tapos meron kang blazing duet bigla. So masisira ang mga inhibitor turret dito ng Blacklist International.
Pag-seal play. Escalera naghahanap.
Sinusubukan nila makakuha ng isa. May
Pero-
call ang Fnatic Onyx.
Maglo-lord lang muna ang Blacklist International. Again, this is a Nathan. Napakahirap niyan. Pag Nathan, pero maiibit si Sitsui dito. Entropy para kay OM. Ihit si OM doon naman ang likod. Tingnan natin. Kakayanin ba ng Onyx dito? But Jem will take the kill. Nawala na si Jem din. Tatlo na rin wala sa Blacklist. Pwedeng ilista. The mastery of the Louis Claude. Kundi nasa kamay.
Of this best of 5. Complete dominance on that game. The lead, the combo, yung Akai, Louis, and Claude. Sobrang delikado nun, even for the lane control. Ang daming problema na kailangan sa but that was completely Fnatic Onyx Philippines doing all the work.
Wala silang sagot doon
Oo.
sa Louis Claude talaga.
Sobrang calculated. Di ba sabi natin pwedeng na-prepare kung paano yung play ng Louie. Pero binago, di ba? Kahit tayo hindi natin na-predict kung magsiset up ba ng play dito. Si Escalera and even Super Prince. May mga moments kung saan after ng objective, okay, balik na tayo sa dati. Tapos kanina after ng Lord, dumiretso sila sa may top lane.
Ang tindi. At saka medyo bago to, no? Unlike yung regular season na nakita natin, ini-spam yung diversion.
Diversion niya.
This time, pinag-iisipang mabuti. Saan tayo magda-diversion? Pero ang nangyari dito is nag-focus lang si Super Prince. Walang iba kundi kay Kelra.
Yeah.
So, ang hirap tuloy mag-decide for me. Sinong pipiliin kong ace player dito? Kasi lahat ng player sa Onyx Philippines, ginawa nila yung trabaho nila.
Oo, kahit yung mga penalty zone ni Gemma was really on point. Nakita din natin kanina yung kill niya against Edward sa may top lane.
And also, Escalera with the Grok.
Oo.
Sobrang ganda rin kung paano hinode lahat ng positioning of entry points dahil yun yung gustong gawin ng Blacklist International. So that was a struggle din. So how would you pull it off? Doon pa lang eh.
Grabe, larong-laro yung Onyx dito.
Malinis.
Kita natin
Sobra.
kanina bago mag-start yung laro, nakita ko yung mga players talagang pindot na eh. Parang kanina pa naghihintay. Di ba? Gustong-gusto na pumindot. At the fact na nanalo yung Louis pick this time para sa side ng Onyx, ang main plan ngayon ni na Coach Ito Max, ni na Coach Why Not, ibaban ba yung Louis? So automatic, pwede nilang magets. Ready sila just in case iban ng Blacklist yung Louis next game.
Palawakan ng draft sa ating best of 5 now from that game. Let's throw it over to our analyst, Renmar Santa Cruz, to break things down a bit.
Fnatic Onyx Philippines takes game number 1. And in dominating fashion, I'm already excited to find out kung sino nga yung magiging MVP dito. Kasi across the board, position 1 to 5, Rome all the way up to gold, jungle, EXP, and mid. They played like absolute all-stars, looking fresh against the Blacklist International that went 5 games in the previous series. Escalera is the MVP for this game number 1. Stone cold. Look at him. He's blinking, but he's just like, game 1 pa lang yun. Di pa tapos yung laban. MVP, well-deserved. And you can see he really set the tempo. Escalera getting the grok here. A signature pickup all the way back in his TNC Pro Team days. Now up here with Onyx PH. Even in last season, this is one of the best picks for Escalera because it allows him to play aggressively. Escalera shines the most pag nakakapag-invade siya, pag nakakakita siya ng vision para sa team, when he can read the rotations of the opposing enemy roamer and jungler. Doon pinakamasaya si Escalera, and of course, whoever he's paired up with in the mid lane in this scenario, it's Super Friends. Escalera and Super Friends make one of the most deadliest roam mid duos in MPL Philippines Season 13. At naramdaman yun ni Oheb. This Nathan was given a lot of focus by Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Kasi nakita natin in multiple games throughout Season 13, Oheb, late game Nathan, or an early scaling Nathan, well, sobrang hirap actually to face up against Blacklist International when they have the Nathan with them. Pero pag binigyan mo ng attention yung gold lane, pinahirapan mo yung pag-farm ni Oheb, then Fnatic Onyx PH will be able to ride it out because Blacklist International will be too focused onto making sure na yung Nathan nila ay makakalabas. This is how bad it got in terms of the lead. At one point, there was a one-level lead for Kelra over Oheb nung nasira nila yung unang torre doon sa bottom lane at 5 minutes 40. And by the time they were sieging the base the first time, 3 levels na yung lamang ni Kelra over Oheb in the gold lane department. And all of that happened again because of sharp rotations from Onyx Philippines, who got their signature Low Yi in the first pick. Low Yi plus the Claude, Super Prince and Kelra give Escalera a fast roaming roamer who is able to go around the map and able to actually just smother everyone in their opponents. Doon masaya ang Fnatic Onyx Philippines. And honestly, when you look back at the objective takes, you can really see in the beginning, malapit-lapit pa yung laban. Blacklist International, mas G sila lumaban. But then as it went on and on, nung lumalaki na yung lamang ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines, doon na nakita natin yung hesitation ng Blacklist International. Hesitation that was utilized by Fnatic Onyx Philippines with surprise aggression. Papasok bigla si Escalera, papasok bigla si Kelra. One of those plays being that blazing duet in the base just to take down Oheb and even getting out. But a sleeper hit here again is the hidden gem himself. Gem going into the playoffs, 8 wins, 3 losses lang yung Terizla niya. Undoubtedly, the best Terizla in MPL Philippines Season 13. The best record, the best performances, and you showed it here. Interesting item build path. He didn't complete into the Hunter Strike. Nag-Fury Hammer lang siya, and then he went for the defensive, minimizing the magic damage na pwede i-dash out ng lineup ng Blacklist International. But at the same time, you have to give credits to the aggression of King Kong. The fact that he was able to win retribution battles, no major objectives ang napunta sa side ng Blacklist International. Sensui winning the retro duels, but most importantly, able to juggle with Escalera in terms of, sige, sino sa atin magsiset? Because most of the time, Gem is gonna go for the late entry set. It's gonna be Escalera or King Kong first, and then biglang papasok si Gem with a follow-up with the penalty zone. Rinse and repeat. It got to the point where you can see Blacklist International, alam na nila kung ano gusto win ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines, but dahil sobrang laki ng lamang ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines, they controlled the early, mid, all the way up to near the end of the game. They didn't let go. 889 GPM para kay Kelra over 649 on Oheb. And of course, we're gonna put focus onto that kasi pag nakita mo yung dalawang marksman na ito, usually iniisip mo, Nathan farms really fast. He's the marksman ranged version of Harith in terms of dealing magic damage in the gold lane. You want him to farm up fast. A Claude with 889 GPM at 15 minutes and 36 seconds really just shows how massive the lead was already for Fnatic Onyx Philippines, dominating game number 1. What a start for the newly minted Fnatic Onyx Philippines, playing with their signature heroes across the board. But fun fact, this was actually the first Akai game of King Kong for MPL Philippines Season 13. I had to revisit it too. Akala ko nga nakapaglaro na siya ng Akai before, but looking at the stats, first Akai game. He played the box shot, the barrage, all of that, Fredrin. But this is the first time Fnatic Onyx Philippines got an Akai in the jungle. Pero, of course, every other position nakuha nila yung mga signature pickups nila. The Loyi, the Terizla, the Grok, and of course, the Claude for Kelra. And I think now, if you're Blacklist International, you're gonna have to revisit your strategy. Are we now willing to give the Loyi to Fnatic Onyx Philippines? Pinakita na ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines na sobrang, well, komportable sila sa paglaro ng mapa with the Loyi pickup. Nakita natin, ginagamit yung diversion to send members of Onyx Philippines to the opposite lanes to rotate around the map quicker. And then at the same time, the control and the damage dished out by the Loyi. Well, a lot of people, once we saw the final draft of Fnatic, people here in the arena just said, sakit ah, para sakit ng damage nila. So, what then must Blacklist International do in terms of the draft? That's the difficult question to ask, because they're up against a team that has the second most unique hero picks with, I believe, 46 or 45. Only one pick behind Falcon's AP Brand with 47-46 in terms of the unique heroes picked all throughout MPL Philippines Season 13. Who is gonna win this game number 2? If this is Fnatic Onyx Philippines, things are not gonna be looking good for the Code Breakers, for they will be just one win away from ending it. But Blacklist International, we saw they could go all the way to 5. Let's see what happens in game number 2. But before all of that, we're gonna be going over to our hosts, Mara Aquino and Hans Galeria, for something special. What's going on?
Thank you, Ranmar. My oh my, Fnatic Onyx Philippines. So smooth with that game.
I mean, an incredible performance by Escalera yung nakita natin with his Grok, intensely showcased kung ano yung kanya naipakita within.
And now it's time to talk to the talents from the Bahasa Indonesia broadcast. Mirko, KB, how you guys doing? Hi, Mirko. Hi, KB.
Are you guys there? I think they can hear us. They're somewhat prepared right now. They're chilling.
They're
Okay.
nodding. They're nodding.
What do you think is on their minds?
I think Mirko is saying, yes, we're doing great. There he's
Laura, hello
waving.
Hans, we're doing great.
There you go.
Can you guys hear us now?
Now we can hear
yeah,
you.
we do.
All right. I just want to say I'm very sorry for the first match, because, it's all JP's fault. He muted our mics.
Well, you know what?
Sorry.
Mirko's got some jokes, and I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Okay, Mirko, I want to ask you, okay, and KB as well. What do you think of the first match between Blacklist and Onyx? Or Fnatic Onyx PH?
I think Keller is giving his best with the draft and with the items management. I think I love the item composition when he choose Magic Blade and then Athena Shield. He giving a full respect for Oheb. So he play like a fighter. And he got a winning condition. And they shut down Blacklist International so deep on the first game.
What about you, Mirko?
Yeah, I think it's quite similar for me. I think for Fnatic Onyx PH, they played really well. I think the drafts were also, that they got were just really, really good. They got the Loyi, the Claude in the first phase with the Akai too, and it shut down Blacklist International completely. I think what Renmar said was just spot on, man. I agree with that guy. He's smart.
Now, seeing how the match is going, are you guys seeing any similarities in terms of play style with Indonesia and Philippines?
I think there's a lot of difference if we talk about MPL ID and MPL Philippines. Talk about MPL ID, there's a lot of players who want to take high risk if you play on the MPL ID. But on MPL Philippines, I think there's a lot of calculating there is a lot of consideration before you doing this something happen before the Lord objective or something that bigs on your disadvantage or advantage. So there's a lot of calculating on MPL Philippines siding or compared to MPL ID.
You know what? I like that. Thinking before doing. Now, for you two, I want to ask you, with the way Game 1 went, do you think Fnatic Onyx Philippines will continue to ride the momentum, or do you think Blacklist International will get themselves back on track in this game number 2?
You guys can take my prediction with a grain of salt. I don't know if the curse is active or if the bless is active, so you know the agents might be happy, the Sonic might be happy, it really depends. I think Fnatic Onyx Philippines will take it 3-0.
Oh.
Is that a curse? I don't know.
Let's see if the curse, the mirror curse, is still strong. How about for you, KB?
I think Onyx Philippines will go, but with 3-1. So I don't agree with Miracle Blacklist. I think they will stall one game away Onyx Philippines.
Let's see if your predictions are correct. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're having an easy time and a great time casting the Philippine broadcast. Thank you so much. And now we're gonna go back to our casters so we can go to game number 2. Casters,
Pasok.
pasok.
Maraming salamat, Hans and Mora. Yun ng at MPL ID Talents, Mirko and KB, we're having our first ever collab with the Indonesian talents, which they can watch the MPL Philippines playoffs in Bahasa.
Yun nga.
So,
Tsaka
malupit.
nakikita din nila, of course, ang mga fellow natin casters dyan. Alam din nila mismo na disiplinado mga
Oo.
players.
Alam nila na merong difference pagdating dun sa play style.
Oo.
Na-realize nila.
Nagigets nila. Medyo
Na-realize nila yun, no?
nayayanig na.
Sabi nga nila, aggressive, high risk kami, pero sa
Kinabahan
Pilipinas
na.
daw, mas calculated eh. So speaking of which, ang ganda na pagka-break na doon ni Renmar about how that game went. Again, Blacklist International up against a team who was the most unique heroes picked. And considering that was a Luo Yi na pinakawalan on the first draft, this second time around, either iiwan nila yun open again o i-respect ba mismo ng Blacklist International to?
Feeling ko iba na lang eh.
Kaso ang hirap din kasi Iban kasi for sure, expected na ng Fnatic Onyx yun.
So, ibig sabihin, prepared din sila.
Oo,
so, probably na-surprise
ibaban.
din sila na na-open ng first game.
Kumbaga, expected sila na pwedeng iban or malay mo baka nakawin.
Actually.
Again, sa play-ins, in this kind of elimination round, lahat ng pwede mong ilabas, ito yung moment din kung pwede mo gamitin mo na. Again, sino pa pwede gumamit? Either Yui steals it, or kung either mag-a-adjust sila to either respect ban it. Again, habang nagsisimula ang ating init ngayon, nagsisimula na rin ang kauna-unahang rank party sa MLBB.
Oy!
Sali na't makakuha ng rank party bonuses dahil merong rank protection ngayon. Gamitin nyo kaya.
Maraming activities at free rewards na ipamimigay simula May 11 hanggang June 21.
Uy, almost 1 month.
Uy, tagal yun.
Basta yun. Kaya huwag niyo kakalimutan na palampasin ang rank up time na to dahil maraming libreng awards at naghihintay na i-claim nyo.
Sobrang effective talaga sana yung rank protection, especially kung solo gamer ka. Comment down below, sobrang importante. Sa dala naiwan sa akin eh.
Kailangan nyo yung
Kunin nyo
dalawa.
Kunin yung dalawa again.
Ay, need 5 ako
Need 5.
Need 5.
5 stars.
5 stars. Akala mo, need mo ng isang buong bagong team.
Ay, baka, ano yun, pahiwatig yun. Siyempre, may kasama nito si Manjin sa mga RG. Pero
Oo
ngayon
naman.
ito yung pinakakatanungan na pwede natin ibigay ulit. Will they let the Luo Yi loose? Or mismo i-respect nito ng Blacklist International this second drafting phase? Again, hindi ko na priority this time around. Dahil narinig ko nga dito yung Benedetta, i-respect na nila ang Luo Yi.
Expected ni ito, Max, to. Actually, binabati ko nga pala si Jomi. Nandito si Jomi eh.
Si Jomi Abalos.
Si Jomi Abalos.
Ayan, nasa kanan natin.
Oo. Si Mr. Jomi Abalos, ang pangalan niyan ay si Pakbet.
Yan.
Siya nagsabi sa akin yan. May mga lason picks minsan, may mga lason picks.
Mga loso yung picks yung minsan eh.
Automatic iisipin mo, iba ba next game yan? Sa kanya ko natutunan yan eh. Ayos ba yan?
Hindi na nga nag-react eh. Kahit tingnan mo,
Ayaw na nga
pansinin.
tumingin eh.
Oo, ayaw niya
Bunot na naman eh.
Pero tama naman kasi either you respect it or sobrang prepared mo din talaga. Again, palawakan to ng hero pool. And as you can see, Fredrin pa rin ang naging winning recipe ng Blacklist International, how they went with their day. At dito pa rin, same Akai. But now, open nga ang Arlot.
Ayan na.
Ayun na.
So hindi po natin sure kung mapupunta ba to kay Jem. Pero high chance na kay Escalera kasi
Oo,
almost sa
harurot.
mga games nila pag Arlot yung gamit niya. Arlot yung
Harurot.
gamit niya.
Harurot,
Pag
Arlot.
kinuha yung Arlot, ginagamit niya.
Ginagamit niya.
Yan.
Ulit.
Pag na-open yung Arlot, ginagamit niya.
Ayun.
Pag pinik, gamit niya.
Gamit niya
Mati,
ako.
kaya naman pipiliin yun. Siyempre nga. ganun.
Ang ginagamit din, Arlot user siya.
Oo.
Yan.
At saka ang dami niyang win rate sa Arlot. At nakailang ano sila dito, nakailang Arlot games na high chance, high win. And given yung game kanina na Escalera, Arlot, kumbaga pindot na pindot na to.
Oo.
Kasi iba yung playstyle ng Grab, tapos on point yung mga block niya eh.
Yung Arlot parang may continuous ka pang pwedeng bitaw ng skill eh pagka nakapag-dash.
Oo eh.
Especially kung nakastun ka tapos automatic final slash, it's a game-changing moment na pwede mo talagang abangan. Dahil nga, they responded this with the Minotaur and the Vexana. Sobrang importante din talaga on how to reach the backline
It is in
of Fnatic
despair
Onyx
that I
Philippines.
see
Na
the
ngayon,
fondest
nanakawin din nila ang Nathan this time around.
Okay. Tingin ko, if you are blacklist, you ban the gem heroes na dito para sa
Oo.
Onyx unless Arlot talaga si Kuya Gem eh.
Kaso si Jem, naglalabas din siya na CC, Uranus. Ayan na, binanda yung CC. Kasi maganda nga naman yung CC, may damage pa. Oo, may damage pa kasi siya. Tapos, parang mag-iiba yung play if ever na yun yung gagamitin.
Sobrang effective ng curtain call kung magdidikit-dikit din as well.
Kay Edward
So
din.
walang makakawala. Automatic din kasi kung ginamit nila dito kay CC, sobrang open space ng Minotaur para
Ayan
makapag-set up. Respeto nga din for the Terizla. Following up
respect
on
din.
your road here, Manjin Faldas and Chantel.
Para
So
mga
focus on the XP ulit.
Parang mga pwede pang iban dito kung hero ni Jem. Uranus,
Yura.
X-Borg.
Ubusan ng XP.
Oo.
Unless ito si Bon, sabihin niya,
Ay.
pili kayo. Pili kayong kalabang kay Gem, Uranus o X-Borg. Yun. Kung ano pipiliin, yun yung hindi baban. Siyempre.
Oo, kasi na-open eh.
Oo. Siyempre.
Kailangan lang talaga mamili ng lason for the EXP.
So, pili ko baka X-Borg, kaso let's see. Ang hirap kalaban niya, ang hirap tapusin ng laro pag may X-Borg Nathan.
By the way, nakita natin yung graphics kanina, 100% win rate for the Akai ni King Kong.
Respecting the X-Borg din. So sobrang hirap din kasi ang galing mo ngayon ha. Pakibel nga. Bel mo na
Si
nga.
Chantel,
Galing mo eh.
si Chantel yun.
Yan.
Yan.
Kasi sobrang deadly nga ng combo with the AoE. With the fires, skill 1 sa malo pa na Nathan na pwedeng mag-continuous early game power spike. So, iniwasan na rin nila at nirespeto din nila dito. So, with the EXP, ano ba bang choice ngayon ni Gem?
I think Uranus.
Yung Uranus, pwede niyang gamitin.
Lapo.
is the surest path to ruination.
At
Ayuso!
Automatic
ang dragon ni Gem.
Gem.
na pwedeng makapag-penetrate ng backline dito ng Blacklist International. We're talking about this Vexana. At pwede rin ma-pressure din ni Minotaur dito to also aid
Ayan
how
na.
team fight will go.
Yung sinasabi nating flex na nakuha dito ng side ng Blacklist International. Ngayon, sure na kay Edward. Kasi may Minotaur na yung Blacklist International. So sa kanila man, nagkapalit ng gold lane.
Eto, mid lane na lang ang hinihintay ni na Itomac dito unless Valentina or something na sobrang kakaiba kay Super Prince. Kasi
Pero maganda Valentina dito.
Oo eh. Or talagang...
Pwede rin kasi right now on the stats of UAO, this Vexana 50% win rate. So kung ka-counter din ng Valentina, might as well do it.
Ay! Eve!
Iba! So medyo
Iba.
kakaiba. Okay.
Kakaiba.
Kaka-Eve.
Va.
Galing. Appear tayo.
Ako.
Sige na nga. Sige na nga.
Masyado kayong nagpapa-OP kayo
Sige na nga. Sige na nga.
Ito, pero ang ganda din kasi, so, kinuha nila yung Yuzong, tapos kinuha din nila yung Eve. So, walang possible counter for this.
Usually kasi di ba pag merong Eve, usually yung pang-counter. Tapos ang kinagandahan pa doon sa area na lumilipad ay swimming ba, lipad yung dragon.
Yep.
Pwede na doon yung real world manipulation.
Grabe,
Given the stats ng Eve lately sa mga international tournaments and maging sa MPL, hindi ganun ka-successful. Kumbaga, paper-wise lang. Kung titignan mo lang, medyo 50-50 ang dating kasi kumbaga sa mga napapanood nating games, big sana talaga yung high win rate. Ngayon, dito papatunayan ni Super Prince ang kanyang pagka-super mage. Pag napagana tong Eve.
At malalaman natin yan sa game na to. Sa mga nanonood, kahit sa TikTok o sa YouTube, may TikTok Goodie Bag Loaded Guessing Game. Mag-ready na kayo. It's game number 2. Makabawi ba ngayon ang Blacklist International or didiretso ba ang momentum ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines? Eyes on the jungler.
Oh, may kita agad. Oh, ayan na. May ice na agad si Escalera.
Escalera. Ina-ice baby si Sensui. Dati niyang yan. Wait, sorry. Si Sensui ay dating teammates ni Super
Oo
Prince
nga
pala.
pala.
Si Super Prince, yes.
Anong season nga ulit yun?
I think that was season 10. 10.
O, di ba sabay pa tayo? Ay, appear. Huwag mo apiran yun.
Wow.
Sige, mamaya na lang.
Hinabol
Chantel.
talaga niya eh.
Mamaya na lang, Chantel. Huwag ka mag-alala. 3 appear tayo.
O, di ba? Well, speaking of the appear here, ito na nga yung appearance na ginagawa ni Escalera. Nakita nga din si Haji.
Aray. Okay.
Tinupok. Okay.
Tinutusok lang ni Sensui. Remember, high win rate din si Sensui sa Predrin. So, mas confident siya dito. This was their first series na gamit niya.
Hindi natin nakita si Arlott for like ilang games.
Binaban eh.
And
Binaban
sobrang importante din talaga in case of team fights. Kasi if kanina kung pag-uusapan din natin how that Eve went, pinag-uusapan mo on paper na hindi nga naging effective yung naging choice ng Eve on some teams, on some games. But dahil na nakuha nga nila dito yung Zong, pwede. Kasi there's one thing I'm looking at is the Eternal Guard na pwede makapag-counter din once mag-RWM.
Oo nga madaling pang-agot, no?
Oo. Ay, by the way, yung build ng item dito ni Kelra, nag-leather shirt muna, tsaka 2 kutsilyo pang attack speed.
Oo, kailangan niya para mabawasan yung damage output ng isang Clodiwaps. Pero eto nga, ramdam ko sa Onyx yung pindot kasi remember, ganito din yung situation nila noong Season 12 na kung saan mas nakakaangat sila sa Blacklist International. And mind you, magiging yung history ng mga new members ng squad na to ay gusto rin makapasok agad sa playoff. Jem Colado, Jem, Dragon Tail, counterplay from Jem. Pero naka-out si Edward using the ultimate. At okay, Mage, real world manipulation.
First objective, kuhang-kuha ni King Kong, Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Okay, so maybe this plays with the area of effect na pwedeng gamitin ng isang Eve. Real manipulation na walang pwedeng makalapit. Also add slow na pwedeng lumapit dun sa turtle.
At saka para meron threat pa, di ba nakita natin na grabe yung pagsuwag ni King Kong kanina para mas hindi pa makalapit dito yung mga kalaban. Oy, wait lang.
God.
Haji,
Face
1/2
check.
HP.
Biglang nag-call na dito ng flicker na ang Fnatic Onyx. So alam nila na medyo mawawalan si Haji ng onting ump ng confidence without that flicker, lalo na level 4 na rin siya.
Well, speaking of hero matchup, Edith 75% win rate with games played 4 against Luzong. So nagkakataroon nga ng mismong contention on how backline is so important even sa side lanes ngayon. And we're looking at the story of these ex-laners, Gem and also Edward. Kanina muntik na rin siya dito, pero the response of how Arlott or even Escalera wanted to aid agad na pwede makuha si Edward, ang bilis nila umikot.
Kaya din, iniikutan din talaga ni Escalera kasi alam niya dito yung difference ng 2 heroes kasi yes, meron nga siya Ice pero meron kasi namang Primal Wrath dito yung isang Edith.
Nanakaw pa ni Kelra. Crucial yun Medyo dama mo yung taas ng crab coin lately. Sarap kunin yan kasi minsan umaabot 140, 150.
Bilang gold laner.
Syempre naman.
Jackpot yun kasi kung gusto mo ng damage, kunin mo na yung gold.
Oo, kala mo nakakuha ka ng hero Anyways, doon mo nga masasabi na itong Fnatic Onyx ay larong-laro. Okay, yun ang slash in, final slash in. In rhymes.
Parang ganun pala yung play na gusto gawin na dito ng Onyx final slash tas diretso real-world manipulation.
Sa loob, no?
Kita nyo, parang almost sabay yung pagkakakast ng mga skills. But by the way, good flicker para dito kay Yui kanina at nakatakas siya. Yun naman yung sinasabi natin na after nun, hindi continuous yung crowd control.
Just looking at that play, no? Ang hirap din Madami kang pwedeng ma-force out sa Blacklist International kung paano nila sinasabay yun. Either you will commit or not. Kasi yun yung time na pwede kang mag-back away. Yun yung time na pwede din mag-follow up si Keller. Again, pwedeng i-amp up ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines kung paano siya nagsimula.
Okay.
Ang HBO on the turtle.
So final stats, nakita to ng side ng Blacklist International. Napagamit na ng entropy si Kelra. Pasok ngayon si Escalera naman. King Kong will take the Beyblade Retribution. Pero pula to si Escalera. Hohev will take that kill. At ngayon lang natin narinig ang side ng Blacklist International na nag-cheer. Kasi finally nakakuha sila ng magandang opportunity. Para kunin pa ang purple na to. Verified yan si King Kong. Masyadong napalalim. Tingnan natin sino makakuha ng purple. Nakaw ba? Mananakaw nga!
Sensui confirms it.
Alam nila kasi na nagamit na ni King Kong kanina yung retribution. So, diretsohin na lang din na para makaagaw doon sa ibang objectives. But yeah, for Blacklist International, good call for them. Now, for Fnatic Onyx, kailangan silang maging maingat ngayon. Kasi ramdam na natin yung sustain or yung motivational roar ng isang Minotaur. Kaya naging mas matagal dito yung Blacklist International pagdating naman sa mga team fights.
Tsaka, hindi to kagaya ng mage kanina ng side ng Fnatic Onyx na Luyi, nadama mo kagad yung early game damage pag nag-combo. Sa pagkakalam ko kasi, ang hirap mag-scale ngayon ng Eve talaga, kaya nawala sa meta eh.
Tapos kailangan mo pa yung stacks, kailangan tumatama pa yung mga skills mo from time to time para talagang mas mataas yung, or mas madami yung pwede mong i-detect pagdating doon sa deal manipulation. Pero nakita naman natin, para dito sa dalawang marksman natin, meron naman na silang core item actually. So ang pinakakailangan na lang gawin dito is wala silang ma-miss out na resource like minion wave para hindi sila magkaroon ng gap.
So, doon ang pinanood mo doon na yung Eve, nahirap mag-scale. Kinalang heavy spin, kumukonect.
Kalate boy na si Sui dito. Oh! Hindi siya nakapag-ulti. Wala siyang makuha ditong lifesteal.
Ay!
Pero
Sui.
buhay pa rin na ang kunat
May
pare.
shield, may shield!
Nabuhay siya. Masyado siyang natulak ng heavy speed. Hindi ko alam kung tumama po yung mga skill ni Super Prince.
Parang medyo nagkaroon sila ng miscalculation ng moment na hindi na rin na-slow.
At si Haji nakuha na doon si King Kong. Haji getting the kill.
Okay,
with the
laban.
PMI.
1v1, 1v1. Alam natin, gusto natin makita yan.
Ay,
Vintage Oheb Gelra.
mainit ang mga gold gainers natin. But for Blacklist International, maganda dito na nakakakuha sila ng turtle objective. Parang nagpapalitan lang actually ng rotation tong dalawang teams natin.
Nag-ayos ng upo si Kelra dito right after that turtle. Meaning parang sinabi niya, okay, wait lang ha. Ayusin ko lang yung buko.
Paano?
Okay, wait lang ha. Ayusin ko lang yung buko. Narinig niyo ba yun?
Narinig ko eh. Umaabot pala sa'yo. Wow. Yung paano nga sila nag-adjust doon and looking at how the items is going with Kela. May dalawa na yung
May
Ate Chantel.
scythe na siya.
Yes.
Volume side. Halos parehas lang yan eh.
Parang nakaiba lang magic item yung isa. Parang same lang din sila. Pinagkaiba lang. Isa magic, isa physical.
Conceal double. Oy, makikita ni si Sui. Oy, binanatan niya.
Oy!
Walang takot. Kuya mo si Sui dun ah.
So, nag-flicker out doon si Escalera sa may Lethal Wanderer para meron pa siyang isang dash. So, yun pala yung naging strategy niya noong moment ngayon. So, mainit ngayon. Fresh start for Blacklist namang sila. Very little versus Fnatic Onyx. And kailangan mag-regroup ngayon ng Fnatic Onyx dahil pinu-pressure yung bottom lane.
Sino may hits kay Oheb?
Nice defense.
Blacklist International slowly getting back the lead. May nakuha na Torres sa taas.
Ayun pala.
May nakuha din Edward doing the busy work din. Also clearing the wave. Again, babalikan natin ulit yung Eve.
Yun yung sinabi naman natin na sa pag-edit, parang meron ka ring marksman. Kung na-defensahan man dito ng Fnatic Onyx yung Torre kanina sa baba, nasira na rin ulit ngayon.
May ipit si Yue.
Si Yue ang target ngayon ni King Kong. And finally, nakakuha sila ng magandang combo with Super Prince. Pero okay, hindi enough yung abrasion strategy to get the damage. But yung onward shatter na doon, ang dami nagkakatalunan. Matagal pa ang bagong taon. 3-4-2 situation.
Jem.
Mulado ngayon.
Ay!
Si Jem, tumatakbo ang dragon, tinatakbuhan yung Lord. Pero nandito pa rin si Edward. Papalagpas si Edward with a robot. Okay,
Ay!
Edward
Flicker!
Woo!
Grabe, malagandam. Gundam Zero. From Agent Zero to Gundam Zero.
Gundam Gaming, nanood ka ba nun?
Edward with the play.
Yun na yun.
A very risky, calculated reward.
And yun yung magugustuhan mo kay Edward, kaya siya pinansagang Agent Zero. Yung mga risky plays niya. Tandaan natin, nagkaroon ng meta na yung XP lane kailangan makunat. Pero sabi ni Edward, wala naman sa kunat-kunat yan, nasa galaw.
Oo, nasa damage din yan.
Oo, okay. This time, 1.6k lamang na blacklist. Pero online na si Edward Balboa mo.
Oo, meron din siyang Radiant Armor para dito sa ating game. Kaya din matapang na din siya na pumasok anytime plus the Dominance Ice. So for Fnatic Onyx, kailangan nilang ma-secure itong Lord na ready din ng Blacklist International para mag-contest.
Ready mag-entropy si Kelra dito. May nakap na gagawin. Sino makakuha ng Lord this time? Si Kelra. At tinakita na nga natin yung real world manipulation kay Super Prince. Pero umiwas doon.
Humahabol.
Sige, parang pa sila dito. Mayroong tower. Pero ang ganda na pasok ni Jem. Let's see, Blazing Duet para kay Kel1. Pero hindi enough yung damage output. Nakapag-counter go.
Sobrang ganda naging palitan to ng Blacklist International. Kung akala mo wala ng pagkakataon para makakuha ng Tonsensui on making that work, dun mismo si Yu and even Haji save getting that kill sa Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
Akala natin pa natin Onyx yung lamang during that time. Masasabi ko lang, beautiful ML in the words of Wolf.
Oh, beautiful MLBB.
Kasi medyo nag-overextend dito yung side ng Fnatic Onyx during that time.
Oh,
Pero
1v1.
nababawi pa rin naman yata nila. Ay, grabe naman yung palitan ng dalawang juggler.
Cyrix laban kay Stephen Castillo. Okay. Super Prince flicker out, real world manipulation. Laban na lang to. Entropy para kay Kelra. This time, bumabanat na si Kelra doon sa bandang likod. Pero Escalera, sasaluhin niya yung mga thought. Ang kunat mo, Stephen Castillo. Sensui, again, soaking everything. Dito na binubuo sa atang Fnatic Onyx.
Kailangan din kasi kunin ng Sensu yun again. Yun
Ayun na.
Ay, teka lang.
Ayan na,
May call, may heavy spin.
Ay, naku, flicker!
Don, nasa loob ng tore ngayon sila Jem. Sa gilid.
Pwedeng humabol dito ang Blacklist dahil nagamit ang ibang mga skills ng
Flicker out.
Fnatic Onyx.
Flicker out, maghabol pa si Sensui.
Sinahabol talaga. Entropy.
Entropy out. Eto na ang Dragon.
Ay!
Petrify on the tree. Pero si Edward, sino ba ng armor? Tingnan natin. Blazing Duet para kay OM dito. Kay OM. Si OM.
Ay!
Muna. Kill one.
Hinaharap ni OM.
Ay Lord kasing mano eh. May mini Lord eh. May EG Boy. Habang sabi ng Blacklist International, kalma lang. Entropy na naman si Kelra. Amba laban sa amba.
Grabe yung, alam mo yung mga tropa mo nag-aabahan.
In and out.
Ambahan lang. Hawakan mo nga sa tenga. Hawakan mo nga sa tenga.
Sige nga, ikaw nga.
Grabe yung naging laban yung walang naging casualty. Nag-exchange lang talaga kung sino talagang bibitaw o sinong mismong magbiblink ka agad. Pero walang naging problema din doon yung Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
Ang galing ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines doon. Masasabi ko, iniwasan nila yung iwas pusoy sila doon.
Oo.
Kasi sa muntikan na yun, nice usage of the retry ni, I think, if I'm not mistaken, nag-retry si King Kong dun just to slow someone. Or kung hindi man, basta may na-slow.
Naramdaman kasi nila nahahabulin anytime eh.
Oo.
So, naramdaman din nila na parang pwede yata. Feeling ko yung comms nila doon, kung mapapanood man natin yung replay.
Oo.
Sige nga. Ay, wag na pala.
Huwag na, hindi pala kaya.
Parang ganun na nangyari. Pero makikita natin dito para sa Blacklist International. They are on the lead in terms of a gold. Pero si Escalera meron ng plate armor. So, expect either naharapan niya dito. Kasi si
Oheb.
Oo, si Oheb. Actually, pwede niya rin harapan si Edward. Kasi may damage din na binibitaw pag naka-primal rush dito yung mga edit.
Speaking of damage, Super Fist and Kelra, ang kailangan bantayan ng Blacklist International yung lockdown, yung combo ng Eve, at mismo ni Escalera, sobrang deadly. Na kailangan nila tingnan kung sinong unang lalapit.
Deadly magic damage yan. At nakita mo yung burst damage ni Kelra, yung ginagawa niya, entropy superposition. Yung ginagawa niya pampok.
May purify yan,
Kakalahatiin niya lang, kakalahatiin niya lang yung kalaban niya eh.
Eto na. Ito na ang Filipino Lord Axe.
Gaganin sino makakuha si Kelra! The Filipino Savage. Pero ka-counter ko ngayon, ang 1.3K na kalamangan ng Blacklist International. Blessing to ito na tatamaan niya. Tumatakbo na Super Prince. Sumulutang pala. As Fnatic Onyx will respect Blacklist. Pero makikita si Kelra dito. Nakuhuli ka. Madadad mo ni Kelra. Mabubuhay pa siya. Hindi na. Huli ka pero di ka kulong.
Pero ang dami mga skills na nagamit by the way during that time. At nandito pa rin si King doon sa may middle lane. Makakapag-push ng Torre pala si Kelra dahil nakafocus yung defense kanina ng Blacklist doon sa may bottom lane.
Si Escalera pala yun. Si Escalera yung nag-buy time.
At nararamdaman natin ngayon ang damage ni Kelra with this Nathan. Entering also late game na rin. So I think kailangan din nila abangan. Sino pong pwede makapagsukop ng damage na to dahil hindi ka nagagamit dito ni Kelra ang entropy para mag-change position.
Torre na
Kahit
lang.
na mismo yung purify. So sobrang calculated nila yung frontline na kaya nilang isukop lahat ng Blacklist International.
Sumasakit na sila, no? Nagkaka-scaling na yung Fnatic Onyx. At nararamdaman mo na yung damage output ni Kuya Kelra. Great movement mula kay Escalera. Nalituhin na lang yung Blacklist International para i-pick off na lang siya at makakuha ng space yung Fnatic Onyx.
Tsaka dahil dun sa space na yun, nakasira na ng Torres sa may top lane. At may kita natin dito for both teams ay parang inaabangan na lang nila is yung kung kailan sila magkakaroon ulit ng opportunity to have the team fight, which is doon sa may mga Lord Pit. So for gold laners, halos pantay actually, pero mas madami nang nakukuha dito na creeps or minions actually si Kelra.
Well, Oheb also getting all the gold cards against Nathan. So possibly making the possible winning condition damage. Again, yung BMI and Blazing Duet. Ang pwede makapagbabad sa backline ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines. Yun yung pinaka-problem din na kailangan nilang gawin.
Okay.
Kaya nga, paano mo i-penetrate dahil sobrang...
Oh
my goodness!
Galera! Pwedeng i-burst down si Edward dito, makakapag-ultimate pa. Si Edward hindi na nga na
Ay!
Ngayon niya lang pinap dito. Ngayon, nag-back ang Fnatic Onyx. Pero nakita mo kung gaano ka-dangerous yung combo. Humarurot si Escalera na mula.
Yung
Si
final
Edward.
slash. Grabe din yung naging gulat nila doon. And they forced Blacklist International na mag-respond ka agad.
At saka nung moment na yun, meron pang nakuha na flash of Oasis si Haji. So tumaas yung heal. Kaya din na-sustain dito after the flicker from Edward. Pero may added damage naman ngayon for Super Friends dahil nakabili na rin siya ng another item para sa kanyang Eve.
Sakit
so expect na since merong Ice Queen Wand, okay, matagal natin hindi nakita si Ice Queen Wand, meron pang counter doon sa Spell Vamp or any life steal.
At sino?
So talagang ang gusto mangyari dito ng side ng Fnatic Onyx is to create a space para gagawa sila ng boxing ring.
Super lagkit na niyan.
Super lagit na yan.
Pag nasa loob ka niyan, talagang para kang nasa kumunoy. Hindi ka makakagalaw.
Grabe yung Void Crystal. The potent scorch damage na meron ngayon si Super Friends.
Init lamig yan eh. Ice Queen Wand, tsaka yung Glowing Wand. Naka-Glowing Wand ba siya?
Naka-glowing one.
Ang bakit naman ang panahon na yun? Init lamig.
Pasmado ka niyan, o kaya kung... basta yung Ice Queen Wand, alam mo na yan.
At nakuha nga dito ni Super Friends ang Little Wanderer.
Okay,
Heavy spin.
entropy in. Pasok ngayon si Kelra. Nandito si Escalera sa balalikod. Binaban natin si Yue. Yue pinaplikar in. EG Boy tatamaan si Kelra. Kelra is down. Escalera is down also. Masyado na malalim ang side ng Fnatic Onyx. At the point of Blacklist International ngayon ang kalamang. At Blacklist will now transition into the Lord. 9 to 5. Free reign ng Lord para sa Agents.
Grabe yung ginawa ni Yue doon. Tinarget siya ni Escalera pero nakita niya yung opportunity na ilatag yung Eternal Guard para mahanap yung mga backlaners dito ng Fnatic Onyx. Kaya nagkaroon sila ng space, nagkaroon sila ng entry point kung saan sila magkakaroon ng play against the Fnatic Onyx.
At the second item on the Blood Wings, nakapagbigay ng extra protection for this Vexana na
Grabe.
pwedeng bumabad. At nagawa talaga niya yung pwede nang i-hold against Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
Okay.
Ngayon, the defense ngayon ng kupunan ng mga Sonics, pero madami pa rin kailangan gawin. Meron pa rin mga Tori ngayon. Ang black and yellow, well now, Fnatic, but kailangan nilang gawin dito. How do they want to equalize now the waves? That means even the defense na meron sila ngayon with this damage.
Pero kasi yung Fnatic Onyx, meron din silang damage eh. Parang nagiging crucial lang para dito sa dalawang teams natin is kung kanino yung mas maganda na follow-up doon sa initiation. Kasi diba, nanalo kanina yung side ng Blacklist International sa team fight kasi hindi pinansin ni Yue si Escalera. Nag-flicker siya, tapos nilatag niya yung Eternal Guard. Hinayaan niya na si Escalera. Tapos nag-shift yung mga kakampi niya. Focus for kay Escalera. The rest, focus doon sa na-set-upan ni Yue.
Tinarget siya ni Escalera, no? Pero gandang flicker para kay Yue din. And yung damage output kailangan din i-respect. This is Blacklist International getting the lead. And feeling ko tagilid ang Fnatic Onyx. Kailangan nila mag-i-pogi dito. Kasi nakakailang team fight na nalulugi sila eh. Nakakailang team fight attempt eh, di ba? Nakakala mo makakapatay sila. But the problem, nai-heal ng Minotaur.
Oo. Malaking bagay talaga yung pagkakabuild kanina ng Flask of Oasis. So ngayon for Blacklist International, edge nila is mas matagal sila sa team fight because of the sustain. Pero pang immortality dito sila sa team. Ngayon naman for Fnatic Onyx, scaling yung Nathan nila, si Ken. So mabilis lang para sa kanya. Meron pang Blood Wings ngayon. So
May shield.
may shield. So mahirap siyang targetin ngayon. Kailangan ma-protektahan nila dito si Kenra and at the same time makapitalize nila yung real world manipulation naman ni Super Prince habang nag-free hit dito yung Nathan.
Yun yung naging problema din ng Blacklist International early game, yung soak up. Pero ngayon, sobrang confident nila na bumabad in terms of the poking capability na pwede gawin ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines once they want to force something out of this composition. Kaso nga lang, they might be now in the danger of defending this base. Habang kiniklear ngayon ng Blacklist International, pwede lang magawa for this one.
Yung ginagawa ng Blacklist, umaalis lang din sila dun sa real world eh. Nagigets nila eh. Kapag doon tayo lumaban sa real world, tagilid ang Bayborn.
Oo.
So I think kailangan magamit ng tama yun ng Fnatic Onyx. Pwedeng hindi pang kill eh. Pwedeng pang zone lang.
Parang
From the moments of the early game, ang ginagawa lang talaga dito ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines, I call it the lockdown against strategy. Kung saan paano biniblend ni Escalera yung final slash and mismo sa real manipulation. Sobrang lakas na lockdown yun. So kung marerespeto dito ng Black International, again, we're on to the late game. Ito yung power spike ng isang Nathan. And if you want to capitalize on this once again, kailangan maging tama yung position, even yung pag-layer ng split nila.
Sakto-sakto sa sinabi ng dalawa ni Manjin kasi parang nagiging struggle ngayon for Fnatic Onyx. I think na yung pinaka-concept nila dito is Escalera, magpa-final slash siya habang naka-real world manipulation, parang ihahatid niya doon. Tapos palalalimin ni King Kong with the heavy spin. Pero nangyayari, yung nata-target nila, hindi nila nasa-secure. So kailangan nila ngayon ng proper layering of skills dahil sinisimulan na ng Blacklist dito yung Lord.
Onward their chatter! First and down! Si Escalera na Blacklist International! At ngayon alam nila na kulang ang Fnatic Onyx. 4 on 5. Magki-clear na lang si Kelra. Ko-contest ba to ng Fnatic Onyx?
Medyo mahirap para sa kanila, not unless
Mahirap lumapit dito.
Mukhang hindi. Bigay to.
Tsaka kung may Cyclone Ice, siguro pwede ipilit ni King Kong. May Cyclone Ice na si Diretso Heavy Spin, pero dahil wala, makukuha dito ng Blacklist yung Lord.
Sobrang ganda ng position doon ni Edward. Finding Escalera. Again, naka-immortality din yung Edith na to. So with all means necessary to take him down, ginawa ka agad ng Blacklist International. Slowly, we're rising up to 72% real-time win rate for the code.
Sobrang galing ni Edward doon sa play na yon. At ang daming mga play na siya yung nagsisimula, no? With this immortality. Ang hirap patayin yan. Maiilang ka kung igugo mo ba yung isang Edith eh.
Gamit na gamit din dito ni kabisado ni Edward na naka-quantum charge sa talagang nag-front din sa dito against the players of Fnatic Onyx. Tsaka alam niya dito na ang taas nung balik buhay na concept. Kaya since yun nga, nabagit imagine merong immortality, grabe yung lifesteal mo. So bakit hindi na lang ituloy-tuloy? So parang dalawa ngayon yung masakit sa ulo ng Fnatic Onyx kasi parang dalawa yung damage dealer. Aside from itong Vexana.
Tama pa doon. Kung ganun kasakit ng ulo, kailangan ng paracetamol for this one. Dahil kailangan nga nasusunan nito, may Lord push sa taas, may wave na papasok din. So, depends if Blacklist will push the situation.
Entropy out para kay Kelra. Papasok na yung Lord dito. Ang hirap na entry to kasi this is still a Nathan. And this is also an Akai that can push out the minions. Disiplina muna ang Fnatic Onyx na alam nila na kailangan nila magstay sa base na to.
Parang inaantay nila na merong mag-asimag para dito sa Blacklist para naka-ready doon yung heavy spin ni Kiko. So expect natin na probably ang next team fight natin is if ever na umabot tayo sa another, pero ipipilit yata ito ng Fnatic Onyx.
Nakuha yung purple despite the Void Crystal na para dagdagan ng damage doon. Now finally just clearing the waves. Kelra, now, habang makikita natin item early on, ito na ating moment na either pwede maging laban, either any of which wants to mag-commit na error. Tama ba, Chantel?
Oo, kasi almost full item na yung mga players natin. Actually, nakabili na nga ng potion dito si Kelra. So it's go time na talaga. Equilibrium, ika nga.
Parehas
Sa
na
game. Kasi 22 minutes, actually 23 minutes na tayo sa game. Make note, Jem bumili na rin ng Blade Armor. So ang pinaka-crucial dito is yung mga spells like yung Purify and even yung Petrify. Kailangan mahuli ni Jem or kailangan ma-force muna yung Purify bago magamit yung Petrify.
Ang daming nangyayari sa laban na to. 23 minutes na pala. Kung titignan nyo nga yung oras, parang magsasara na yung mall eh.
Sarado na yata.
Sarado na pala.
Feeling ko nga eh.
Sarado na, best.
Pero tropa natin yung mga yan. Kaya nandito pa rin tayo.
Feeling ko midnight sale eh.
Midnight sale, no?
Shoutout pala kay Midnight.
Feeling ko pwede mangyari. Kung mag-extend tayo dito, habang nakikita natin yung laban na to because the damage dealt of Super Prince and Kelra, ito yung combo na dapat talaga respeto kanina, yung lockdown, na pwedeng gawing combo with this kind of composition. Yung threat eminent pa rin.
Oo, may threat pa rin talaga yung Fnatic Onyx dito. Kaya super careful ang Blacklist International. Pero grabe mag-zone si Edward.
Oo. Tapos kapag Gundam Zero mode naman siya.
Gundam Zero.
Tatlo na ka-immortality para dito sa side ng Blacklist International. Nice positioning kay Escalera and Jem. Kailangan itago nila kung saan manggagaling si Kenra.
Si Jem for sure magdadragon na to in a while. Kung Dragon mo, Rentrico, combo with King Kong.
And again, nakita natin kung paano na-utilize ni Kelra ang entropy para makuha ang isang objective. No, kailangan nila makita ng opening. It's the backline.
Lamang yung Blacklist sa show eh. Lamang sila sa mga minion waves.
Oo, nakaangat sa kanila. Lumagpas sa river yung kanila.
Oo.
So So in a way, may advantage sila in terms of the control of the map.
Napunta si Kelra. And
Nakuha nito.
Gem with the Dragon.
Knock up.
Okay, knock up. Coming out from the Lord itself. At ngayon si Haji. Mamgod. And blazing duet para kay Odd dito. Tumatakbo na sila Super Prince. Kelra din tumatakbo. Pero boom. Napakasakit ni Yue. At kung sumigaw yung Yue Vance. At nakita mo naman the massacre
That's it.
na ginawa ng Blacklist International. 4 heroes down.
Meron pa minion wave yung Blacklist International dun sa may top lane.
At pwede din tapusin ng Blacklist International ang game na to. With Gem left, Blacklist International finally getting back on their feet, taking game number 2.
Reset game for Blacklist. And both of the squads, kitang-kita mo naman, Game 1 and Game 2, parehas na games ay nakita natin na hindi naman one-sided pero may nagpi-favor, kumbaga, sa isang team. Game 1 was Onyx, and then Game 2, nag-favor sa lahat sa Blacklist International. Attempts were made para sa side ng Fnatic Onyx. 5 times ay nakita natin. Maybe more than 5 na nag-attempt silang kumuha ng kill, na nag-attempt sila na kaya ba natin ito? May damage ba tayo? Hindi. Bitin.
Yun yung parang difference ng Louis tsaka ng Eve. Yung Eve kasi parang continuous poke lang.
Oo.
Yung sa Louis kasi may poke yes, pero may crowd control. So parang iba na, parang gusto nila i-replicate yung same concept pero hindi same yung output.
Yeah.
Ngayon naman for Blacklist International, nakita natin dito yung edge of having that continuous naman na crowd control. Kasi after mo mag-Binobal's Fury, pati yung Despair Stomp mo, meron pang crowd control. Tapos, Flask of Oasis,
Buhay lagi eh.
buhay lagi.
Buhay lagi, oo.
Kaya madali for them kasi tatlo naka-immortality, meron ka pang heal. So parang sobrang hindi ka na pwedeng targetin, hindi ka na
Oo.
pwedeng ma-burst agad-agad.
At grabe din yung naging positioning nila in terms of heading in that front line ng Blacklist International. Also to see na yung even on that last Lord team fight, na knock-up din doon ng Blacklist by 3. It was a 3-man knock-up. Pero this is just the game. Ito yung simula ng second series. 1-1 na tayo. Renmar Santa Cruz, paki-breakdown nga yung game na yan.
Investors, welcome back to the Analyst. Ako po si Reptar. And, well, one of the things that we saw a lot in that previous game number 2, fights. Ang daming laban nakita natin. Fighting for objectives, fighting for everything before objectives, fight around the objectives. Two teams who understand that very well. And in this game, Yue, his role here as the Vexana, to be able to dish out the damage that he could dish out. Sorry, Yue, you got me, man. MVP of the game, 2-1-11. And very clutch with the Terrifies. And of course, the burst damage combo coming out from the Vexana with the Eternal Guardian coming down. Vexana has become one of the best mid laners, if not, well, yeah, one of the best mid laners in MPL Philippines Season 13, just how fast she can scale. But most importantly, gaano kabilis mag-clear ng minion waves sa gitna ng mapa ang isang Vexana. Paired up with a Minotaur that of course would have Concussive Blast means that you would have a lineup that is very good with clearing the middle of the map. Meaning na mas mabilis ka makakaikot sa mapa. Against the lineup that Fnatic Onyx PH played in game number 2 where they had an Eve, that's where you want to try and beat them with map rotations. Kasi katulad ng pinoint out ng mga casters natin on the desk, Fnatic play the lineup with an Eve that is static. A static mid laner meaning, alam mo, ano gagawin ng isang Eve? She puts down her ultimate in a specific spot and you want to find a route, fight around the box of an Eve. But Fnatic understood that very well. That's why they knew they needed to build a lead for themselves early on as well, doing what they can to help out Kelra, while also fighting for river control. So a lot of the fights we saw in the map actually happened in the river around the objectives because that's what both teams were playing for. Blacklist International, though, in terms of the team fighting, yes, traditionally you don't think of it as a really great team fighting lineup in objectives kasi kalaban nila yung isang Eve. Well, they have an Edith paired up with a Fredrin. The lineup of Fnatic Onyx Philippines wants longer team fights or will shine pag mas mahaba yung mga team fights nila. They have a Nathan and they have an Eve. But Blacklist International have two heroes na sobrang masaya sa mahabang engagements. The more you hit a Fredrin, the more damage he will deal. The more you hit an Edith, pag na-max out yung bar niya para sa ultimate, the Primal Wrath, the more damage the Primal Wrath will deal. As we look at the buffs, look at the purple buff count, 15 to 10 for Blacklist International, and we have to revisit the turnaround moment of the game. The first two turtles of the game napunta sa Fnatic Onyx Philippines. And doon natin nakita yung combination ng isang even na Kai. Ginagamit lang yung heavy spin para matulak si Sansui, get him out of range of Red 3, and then easy retribution for King Kong. But after Turtle 3, or after the second turtle, what Blacklist International did was, nakita nila, maganda yung pwesto natin para sa isang teamfight Sige, mag-push nga kaya tayo, mag-invade tayo into the purple buff of King Kong at doon nag-umpisa yung control ng Blacklist International little by little. But Fnatic still kept it close. They do have a Nathan, of course Escalera with his signature Arlot, and of course, great performance as well by the Yuzhong of Gem. By the way, first game for Gem and Super Friends on the Yuzhong and Eve respectively para sa MPLPH Season 13. But as we saw, Blacklist International went ahead for the priority para sa Fredrin. Fredrin for Blacklist, one of the heroes you really don't want to give to Blacklist International. Now, after this series, 12 wins, 4 losses ang record ni Sansui on the Fredrin. So, now the question will be later for Fnatic, ibaba nyo ba? Or ibibigay nyo pa ba yung isang Fredrin for Blacklist International, knowing that they have an Edith swing pick na pwede nila gamitin. The Edith isn't just a pick for Haji, it's also a pick for Edward. Isang beses lang yun na pick for this season so far, but now in this second time, panalo pa rin. So 2-0 for Edward's Edith. You also have to look at one of the problems for Fnatic Onyx Philippines is that the Minotaur provides a lot of healing. There's a lot of healing on the side of Blacklist International, and you had to see that Fnatic, inikot nila yung item building path nila para mabawa na. So, we're gonna be looking at a rotation here on your screen right now. Haji's first 5 minutes, kitang-kita nyo, sentro ng mapa. So much time also trying to find their wins. But if you're Blacklist International, that is where you getting special segment. We've talked a lot about metas, we've talked a lot about stats. I want you to look at your screens right now as we're gonna be going behind the stats. Show you some very important numbers on your screen. And of course, the first of that would be what it looked like, what the meta looked like bago nalapag yung patch natin, patch 1.878, before the big patch in week 4. So we're just waiting for the stats to show up on your screen because you're gonna be seeing something very interesting here. So, before the patch, or in patch 1.878, these are the top 10 contested heroes. Fredrin and Harith with 100% contention rate. Fredrin, Matilda, Arlot, and Minotaur are still highly contested even after the patch. And Harith, Loyi, and Chip jumped in contention rate after the patch. So, before the patch, kita nyo dyan, 100% for Fredrin. For the Harith, Matilda was often banned. Faramis, highly contested as well. But then, as we go after the patch, that's when you see Loyi has risen up. Arlot still within the same level. Chip as well. Harith, Fredrin, andun nag-increase din in priorities. So the release of Chip, the meta changing decision of Onyx, Fnatic Onyx to say we're gonna pick and prioritize Loyi, we'll pair it with Claude, and of course with Team Liquid Echo showing that you can chip and Loyi, and then teams realizing grabe ang lakas ng isang Harith. Wait, why we forget about Fredrin? He's still the best jungler out there. You see the changes on your screen. Now for the top 20 contested heroes and the win rate, bago mag-patch, you see Faramis is in a really good spot. Mid-contention but very high win rate. Nolan, his contention rate was almost at 100% at mataas din yung win rate niya. Loyi, barely contested, but you can see that mataas din yung win rate niya. Those are the games of Fnatic Onyx Philippines. When you look what happens after the patch, Harith and Fredrin go up. Matilda, mas madalas na natin nakikita in the meta. And speaking of seeing something, by the way, look for the MSC trophy there. I wonder where it is. Look, hindi ko makita yung MSC trophy. Take a picture of yourself, take a selfie with it, balikan nyo yun, and when you post it online, you get a chance to win 2,000 diamonds. So, you really got to see how our meta has evolved with the priorities of Chip, Loyi, Harith, Fredrin, Matilda coming through more often. Of course, Roger, now the Moscovs showing up. I wonder what else we'll see for this game number 3 between Blacklist International and Fnatic Onyx. Casters, paso.
Ito din nangyari nung Series 1 eh, no?
Pero yun nga, may mga nanalo na at kokoronahan natin sila sa 25.
25,
Yan.
Sabado.
Anong oras?
4 p.m.
Yan.
MPL na.
MPL na.
MPL na.
Uy, pero 10:28 na.
10:28 na. Malapit na lang.
Konti.
Makakuha na kayo ng 50% off.
Oo. Sarado na ata talaga yung mall, no?
Oh, sarado na.
Sarado na.
10 p.m. nagsasara usually yung mga malls.
Dahil kasama nyo kami dito, mismo sa Champions Arena, exempted kayo.
Sanay na tayo dyan eh.
Ito yung last full show
Ako
eh.
sanay na ako.
Ang mga MPL, gusto natin full show. Gusto
Yan.
natin
Last-
umaabot day
Ako wala na ako nararamdaman pagka
Ako rin,
extend.
manhid na.
Oo nga eh. Salamat sa pagbinag sa akin sa
Oo.
unang araw ng playoffs dahil ngayon, kayo mismo na nanonood ngayon, available na ang MPL Philippines livestream Guessing Game sa
Yun.
TikTok.
Manood ng MPL matches sa TikTok at makasali sa guessing game para suportahan ng inyong team at manalo ng game points.
Para makasali, pumunta sa TikTok, pumunta sa MPL Philippines TikTok channel.
Yun.
Pindutin syempre ang ating official live stream. Pindutin ang ongoing na guessing game para suportahan ang inyong mga paboritong team at manalo ng points.
Again, pinapanood na at nababasa ang mga comments nyo sa kahit anong platform dahil pwede kayong sumubaybay sa ating mga laban, sa draft. Kitang-kita namin yung mga pangalan nyo kanina. At meron din tayong redeemable in-game rewards.
Yan,
Kanina may QR
napakadami.
code.
Kanina may lumabas eh.
Hindi ko nakita kanina eh.
May code dun eh.
Merong
code
code.
pala kanina.
Lumalabas-labas yan, kaya kailangan yung abangan lagi.
May nauna, may nauna. At syempre, pressure na muna tayo. Kitang-kita naman natin ang mga audience natin sa venue. Dire-diretso pa rin ang panonood, lalo-lalo na dito sa... nakaiwalay kasi yung side eh, no? Merong Blacklist side, tapos sa
Merong-
Onyx side. Kitang-kita pa rin natin yung kung gaano nila kagustong manalo ang binabayasan nilang team. Sumasama sa atin, ganun natin kamahal ang mga fans ng MPL Philippines.
And speaking of sides, sa oras na to, Fnatic Onyx Philippines chooses to be in blue side.
Ay, okay.
Oh. Actually, ngayong araw, sobrang taas ng chance pagka blue side yung isang team. Kahit kanina,
Nanalo.
di ba?
Magic is my life.
Ayan, Magic is my life ay naban.
One of the most highly contested heroes as well. And kahit di din siya mag-exist, okay lang. Pero respeto lahat. Nakikita ng dalawang kupunan na to. Respect ng the Arlot. But this is the Angela. Tama ba? It is.
Angela
The
nga.
Angela on the prio pick this time for the blue side.
Siguro para dito sa kila Coach Maina at saka kila Coach ito Max, parang wag na muna natin i-reveal yung mga ibang heroes. Basta ang alam natin, kailangan natin na sustain.
Oo.
Kasi kanina ganun din ba yung nangyari nung kalaban din ng Blacklist yung Minata Evos.
See
Nung
value
dumating
in
sa
me?
dulo, hindi na mapigilan
You should.
yung sustain ng hero composition.
I am the
Speaking of
priestess
hero
of
Ayan na.
composition,
lightning.
in most of the games that we
hunter of
see,
all the evil
nakukuha talaga
gods.
ng Sensui yung Fredrin na to.
Oh,
At
wait.
yung Edith for Edward, sobrang magagandang place na nagagawa, especially on the front line. It's about the dynamics na pinapaganan nila dito. Without the presence of the Matilda and also the Benedetta, free roam ang pwede lang gawin on the front line. Pero ito yung pwedeng paraan na gawin ng Fnatic Onyx Philippines na pwedeng i-counter against. Ano nga ba?
Yeah, quick picks para dito sa Fnatic Onyx. Magla-lock-in na ba dito ang
Ng
Fnatic
hero ni
Onyx
Jem?
ng hero ni Jem? Kasi kanina nagka-agawan sila ni Edward eh.
Oo.
Di ba? So, pero usually kapag nag-a-Angela kasi ang Onyx, hindi malabong mag-Masha din to eh. Di ba mayroon din sila?
Ay, oo nga pala.
Masha Jena or Esmeralda.
Parang bigla. Pero ano na sila, nagtirin sila. Ito na, kanina binabag kanina si
Ala.
Ling. Kaya pala, parang it's a given. Parang usually parang ganito yung mga draft din pagka sa rank games. Kapag may Ling, parang expect mo na
Angela.
may Angela. But
Angela.
yeah, ang kinagandaan pa dito with the Angela now na Tirisla yung gamit ni Jem is that
Mas
mas
bukay.
magiging mas mabilis
Yeah.
yung movement na isang Tirisla. Kasi sometimes yun yung parang nagiging con
Yeah.
ng pagiging Tirisla.
So tama nga tayo. Prenayo na nila. Tinerd
Yeah.
si Bernard round na nila yung Teresda. Itong Edith kasi pwede pang flex sa Blacklist eh.
Ginawa nila yung last game eh.
Oo.
So, napakaganda din magiging adjustment kung yun nga yung gusto nilang gawin. Yun ang pinaka-question ay third pick for Blacklist International. Will it be the marksman na kaagad?
Oo.
Ba dito?
high chance.
Pwede na, ay parang medyo mahirap mag-cloud yata dito, pero
Hope
magandang...
will find a way.
Hiro
Even when
muna
all is
ni Yue.
forlorn.
So, Vexana na muna ulit. So, aabangan niya lang din dito if ever na tapos na mag-Tempest of Blades. Or kaya yung mga magiging
It is
backup
in
nung lane
despair
pagka
that I
pumasok
see
na
the
sa
fondest
team
hopes.
fight. Nathan has been banned dito for Blacklist International. Pwede na dito mag-specify ng mga bans na ayaw lang nila magamit ni Oheb.
Respeto na din yung Nathan eh.
Ito yung maganda dito. Ubusan, kung
Ubusan
kanina,
marksman.
kung kanina Edward Gem ang ubusan, ngayon marksman ubusan. Ay, pero may respect pa rin sila dun sa XP.
Oo.
Si Coach Wynat, respeto pa rin yung CC. Ayaw mo naman na may CC talaga kapag may, ayaw mo na may CC pag link ka.
Oo, tsaka parang...
Even against Terizla.
At saka inaano din nila dito na at least in terms of laning, lalamang si Gem. If ever na unfamiliar hero yung gagamitin dito ni Edward. Pero ang dami pa kasi XP lane na pwedeng gamitin dito ni Edward. Again, meron pang Pakito, kahit na wala dito si Arlotte and even na Benedetta, may Lapu din na pangsabay para same concept na merong talon, crowd control.
Iniisip ko kung ano mga pwede